What makes your story special? And how will you write it so the reader will never forget it? I'll teach you the art and craft of the bestseller. Learn how to tell and sell your story and write your dreams into reality. I was 19, nearly 20, when I knew I wanted to be a novelist. The only problem was I didn't believe I was good enough to get published. So I gave myself 10 years until I was 30, and I promised that if I didn't achieve my dream by then, I would give up and get a real job. The only problem was that while I was writing, I was comparing myself to all the great novelists I'd read while I was studying at Oxford. Virginia Woolf, all the Brontes, Charles Dickens, George Eliot, and I just couldn't reach their heights. So I thought everything I did was awful. And I would write and I would edit and edit and edit, and it was never finished. I would finish maybe a chapter, 3 chapters in a year or so, and I would send it out to agents and I would get dozens of rejections, which just showed me that I wasn't good enough. It was confirming what I feared. So then I would cry for a week and then I would start again and try again. Then, a month before I turned 30, I wasn't ready to give up. So I took 2 weeks off work and I sat down and wrote something radical. A huge departure from anything else I'd ever tried. This wasn't Virginia Woolf, this wasn't Charles Dickens, this was just me. This was Men of Van Prague. And it was a little novella about a waitress who wanted to be a writer but didn't believe she was good enough. And so I wrote that novel in 2 weeks and I sent it out to publishers. And it was rejected by everyone all over again. So my mom, who's an amazing life coach, said to me, well, you need to self-publish it, which was a terrifying idea to me because it meant that you had to go out there. In those days, you had to publish the book, hard copies, take it to booksellers, beg them to put it on the shelves, in the windows, on the tables. And that was really scary. But I baked chocolate flapjacks and chocolate chip cookies, and I took it out to the booksellers and I begged them to help me. And some of them were really kind and supportive. I also got everyone I knew to buy a copy. And within about 9 months, I'd sold around 700 copies. And I took the book back to one of the publishers and I said, look, I've done this. And suddenly they saw the potential in the novel. Nothing to do with what I'd already done. And they took it on, and within a year, they'd sold it to 27 different territories. And the rest, as they say, is history. 10 years to 2 weeks. 10 years of procrastinating and comparing myself to everyone else, and in 2 weeks of just writing my novel. I'm recording this series of videos in order to share with you my tips and tricks, my failures and successes, so that it won't take you 10 years to finish and publish your novel.